Hello my Otaku buddies, I'm Hermit Frost and this is Otaku Weekly, and today I am here to review Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 episode 71. This was a very interesting episode for what it was. As a viewer, it even made me go at one point say, what? And also it raised a lot of questions as well. I honestly thought this was going to be a two-part special, meaning I thought this duel was going to take up 2 episodes, but they only finished it in just 1. And the way that I thought it was going to go down is Yuya was going to look like he was getting his ass handed to him, and at the end of the episode they were going to make the duel chaser look strong, pretty much having him in a menacing pose as Goyo Emperor's in the background in the shadows as Yuya looks worried. That's how I thought the episode was going to go off. But this entire duel, they made it as if Yuya had the upper hand. He didn't have pretty much shit to be worried about. Also, they made it look as if Academia may possibly be already in the synchro dimension as well. And this episode pretty much starts off by having Yuya pissed off at the fact that what happens to the losers in the friendship cup here. And what made me look like have a puzzled look on my face is the reaction we got out of the crowd here. I mean, we got a better reaction out of the participants in the friendship cup than the crowd here. And the participants, they pretty much look like, wait, so we go to an underground labor facility, forced to do labor for the rest of our lives, and that's it? That's it? I'm just looking like, wow, that's fucked up. Also, the crowd gets this information as well, and they just pretty much look like, so, duel. And at that given moment, you could clearly see that the commons and the tops pretty much are not that different. I mean, you couldn't even tell them apart at one moment because you're just looking at their reaction looking like, wait, what? I honestly thought the commons out of all people were going to be pretty much enraged at this information here, but they're just as bad as the tops because they're just looking like, so what? You lost to Jack Atlas, big whoop. Now you're a scary cat afraid to duel here. And I'm just looking like, oh, wow, that's crazy. And also, all throughout this episode, we see like glimpses of Akaba Reggie here, Rira, Jack Atlas, Yuzu, and Yuzu at one given moment, she just had to make everything about her. Oh my goodness, when I beat Enjoy Chojiro's ass, I whooped his ass, by the way, really bad. I mean, I sent him there, and it was I don't like you, Yuzu. I don't like you. Along with Gongenzaka and Tsukikage. How the fuck did Tsukikage get apprehended? He had to give in here. He had to give in because this motherfucker, he could move quick as shit. I don't see how they caught him. But with that being said, this duel, it was a pretty much back and forth duel at one moment. Then Yuya manages to get the upper hand here. And he just gets pissed off at the fact that these people are not listening to him. They're just treating this as if it's an everyday thing. They don't give a fuck what happens to the losers here. So he says at one moment, hey, you guys won't listen to reason, so I'm going to show you guys through action. And in this episode, Jack Atlas starts to be that asshole that we all know and hate. I know a lot of you thought, hey, this is a different Jack Atlas. Maybe he's a nicer guy, yada, yada, yada. But, fuck you, Jack Atlas. In this episode, he was an asshole. Because he just goes on to say, how could you even try to talk to these people and you aren't even a winner yet? How could you... I knew you were conceited because you try to talk to people before you even win the duels. You got to win your duels first before you try to talk to people. And I'm just looking like, fuck you, Jack Atlas. Fuck you, man. And at one moment in this duel, Yuya could have won, hands down, easily. Boom, done, over with. Before he even got out Goyo Emperor, Yuya could have won. And even Dennis says, he says, if Yuya does this and that and yada yada yada, he can win this duel right now. But he allowed former duel chaser 227 to get an action card, yada yada yada, pretty much making him be able to bring out Goyo Emperor and give Yuya a run for his money here. Also, it is revealed that Academia may be already in the synchro dimension here. And I'm just looking like, wow, how the fuck did I not catch that in last week's episode with that fusion card here? Because a polymerization got used and a fusion card got used. And the older people, I pretty much believe their name is the Council or some shit like that. They raised the question, we may have a traitor in the synchro dimension here. And the way that they said this, they had to already know about the different dimensions here, because the way that this guy said it, he has to know about the standard, synchro, academia, fusion, all that shit. But with that being said, Yuya, he goes Dark Yuya for a split moment. For a split second, he goes into Dark Yuya, pretty much allowing him to bring out Odd-Eye Saber Dragon, allowing him to get the victory. And Yuya won hands down. He made the Duel Chaser 227 crash pretty hard. I mean, they didn't even give him medical attention. They just shipped his ass off to the underground labor facility, which I believe it's more to that story, by the way. I think it is a labor facility, but I think it's like pretty much a crazy way on trying to unite the tops with the commons. I don't know. But with that being said here, I honestly think that the chief of the Duel Chasers, you know, the creepy guy with the big guy always behind him, I think that he's pretty much from academia. And I honestly think that the Duel Chasers, well, some of them that are actually in his like inner circle, like close to him and know him, like know him, I think that they're like pretty much part of the Obelisk Task Force. Like some of those Duel Chasers, they may be members of the Obelisk Task Force, and they're waiting to strike when the time is right here. I mean, I believe that the time is right is when Jack Atlas duels the last time in the Friendship Cup here. That's what I think is going to happen when Jack Atlas's next duel happens. That's when I think that the Obelisk Task Force, Academia, that's when shit is going to go down here. But with that being said, this episode goes off by having Yuya beat Duel Chaser 227 and him being pretty much carried out of the dueling arena. And they show glimpses of next week's episode, Saratori versus Yugo. And come on here. What do the fucking writers got against Saratori here? You know goddamn well he's not going to win against no goddamn Yugo, because at one moment here, we gonna have to get Yugo losing to Yuya to get Clearwing, well, Odd-Eye's Clearwing Synchro Dragon. That card has to happen here. Also, I believe correct me if I'm wrong here, but there's another version, like Meteor Burst Odd-Eyes or some shit like that. Do he get that version with, I think he gets that version with Jack, or, I don't know. I think he's going to be Jack and Yugo to get those two versions of the Synchro Odd-Eyes here. That's just me. Correct me if I'm wrong here. Sorry if I'm wrong here. But that being said, I think Yugo is going to win. Duh. And I'm not saying it's not going to be an entertaining duel here, but I think it's going to be like more of a message to Jack Atlas from Yugo here, because I think he's going to say, I'm going to show you guys just what I'm capable of. So that being said, you guys don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also share the video. This is Herman Frost. You're watching Taco Weekly. Over and out. Peace.